guy alone inside. He's got the breakaway with the touch to the right. Goal! Everything you wanted from this debut. It's Brandon By. Taking a shot with the left. Goal! Isaac Frank from 25 yards out. The equalizer. Will Kidd with the touch of the goal. It's a go-ahead goal. Minneapolis City.
This is the People's Pitch Podcast, the official podcast of your Minneapolis City Soccer Club, brought to you by Summit Brewing Company.
Hello there, soccer friends. This is the People's Pitch Podcast, the official podcast of your Minneapolis City Soccer Club, and I am your host, John. I come to you today solo as we are entering our show's dark period where we will not be coming to you with new shows every week. We have decided to dip into the archives and release a show that was a great one. If you were watching on Twitch about 6 months ago, Nate and I sat down with 3 members of our club to dive deep into their relationships with one another and how the game of soccer has taken them all over the country, but ultimately back together again on the field for one last season. I am talking about Minneapolis City co-captain Max Steigwardt, forward in 2020 MLS draft pick Luke Haakenson, and everyone's favorite verb, Kevin Hoof. We talk humble beginnings, the love of the game, the different paths they've traveled on their soccer journey, and what playing with your close friends is like with the Crows. And some might call them interesting stories from the past. So with that, I say thank you for listening, and we'll be back at you next week with more sweetness. Enjoy and get hoofed.
Well, look what we have here. Could it be our first ever live Twitch podcast? You are not in the wrong place, folks. This is the People's Pitch Podcast, the official podcast of Minneapolis City Soccer Club. I am your host, co-founder John Bisworm, and joining me, as always, in the Ride App social distance studio is the voice of Minneapolis City Game Day, the Nate Morales. Nate, we are in uncharted waters, man. Our first ever live podcast. Do you realize what the hell we got ourselves into tonight?
Maybe I was born for this. And you're going to be able to tell that. By the way, I'm going to seamlessly remind people to make sure you give that purple follow button a click and make sure to turn notifications on so you can stay on top of everything that we're going to do here on this channel, whether it's Lower League E-Cup, People's Pitch Live episodes. We're going to have new esports and podcast content that's going to be happening all summer. So make sure you're following us. John, today's show is going to be great. As people can see on screen, it's not only our first live show, we've got a few guests joining us. So these guys that you see are current and former members of the Murder. You're looking at 2020 MLS draft pick Luke Haakenson, looking at Minneapolis City co-captain Max Steigwardt, and last but not least is Minneapolis City's Swiss Army knife and the man whose name has become a verb, Kevin Hoof. Fellas, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing great.
Happy to be here.
Thanks for the introduction.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
So clearly, with the star power that you folks see on screen, this week's show is going to be packing a hefty punch. But before we dive in, we have just a small little bit of housekeeping to do. Nate's going to do that so I can open my Cabin Crusher, brought to you by Summit Brewing Company.
Yeah, absolutely, John. So for those of you who have been following us on this channel for over the past 5 weeks, you know that our boy City center back Jonah Garcia has been rolling right along in the Lower League E-Cup. And last week was no different. He has been competing in Xbox Group I, and he completed Group I with a 9-0 whooping of OKC 1889 FC, which is a UPSL team. He was basically fresh off being named Player of the Week and had to prove why. That's enough to earn him back-to-back honors. He's voted Player of the Week once again, finally getting the credit that he is due.
Yeah, he definitely smacked that guy as a rebuttal to not being.
He was playing awfully conservatively for the first few games, and I think he decided to show the world exactly what he was made of in that game. So he ends group play with a perfect record, 15 points, 22 goals for, only 1 goal against. Next up for Jonah and next up for the Lower League E-Cup is going to be the knockout round, and that begins tomorrow night, May 7th, and that's going to see Jonah face off against the winner of the Gray Harbor Gulls versus Keene FC match.
I call that basically
Thanks,
the
John.
game that nobody knows who the hell he's going to play against because half of the people on this side of the country have never heard of those teams.
No, no, and that's all right. That's kind of half the fun, right? You're getting to know new teams and the mystery people behind them that are apparently the best they have at video games. But Jonah is going to be playing back-to-back games, so each game is 2 legs, which means he's got twice the time to beat the hell out of this dude, which is exciting. So make sure you're going to follow this channel. Turn on your notifications for when his next match starts. We're not really sure exactly what day and time that will be, but what you'll want to do is tune in for our pregame coverage, which is going to begin with John and I 15 minutes before kickoff.
So, Max, it's well documented that you feel as if you should be wearing the club FIFA crown as the best player in the club. Before we actually make that a legitimate battle between the two of you, tell us in your expert FIFA opinion about a little bit about what you've seen from Jonah in this E-Cup so far.
No, he's been class. He's been nothing but class. Every FIFA, right, when they come out, very quickly the top tier players, they recognize what's called a meta. And this year's meta is a lot slower than you've seen in the past. And I think that benefits Jonah's game. You can see he's really patient in his build-up, really tiki-taka style play for sure, abusing and using the drag backs, as we like to call it. But no, he's been very, very good.
So did you hear that, kids? It's all about the meta.
What determines the meta, Max?
It really depends. So last year in FIFA 19, it was 180 quick scopes, they called it, because players wouldn't even be facing the goal. And if you timed the shot green, it would go in from about wherever you shot it. Crossing was really big last year too. So if you had players like Cristiano Ronaldo, heading was huge. But this year, heading is non-existent. So every year the meta changes, and it kind of just depends on the players, how quickly they can adapt to be more successful.
So it's really just based on how FIFA sets the gameplay.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So if anyone out there was not quite getting what Max was saying, I understood that he was speaking English, but the words that were coming out of his mouth were a little bit not clear to me. So you're not alone, folks.
But if you knew exactly what we're talking about, follow and turn on notifications, because we're going to be talking about it again every time Jonah plays. And I think, Max, we might try to get you playing on the channel a couple times.
Absolutely.
Nate, this is just a good indicator of the chemistry that we have built over 4 years of doing this show together. I don't even have to say it, and then you just follow right in with a dynamite drop in. But this show tonight, folks, is not about Nate and I. So on to the good stuff, friends. You have to go back about 3 years for the last roundtable we had on the show, and we spun up the mic on a van ride, which ironically was down to the Des Moines Menace game where we played against Luke. Where we fired up the microphone and Goose, Hoof, and Ian Smith just did a roundtable discussion, and we've been itching to try to figure out how to get that back again. So this is what you're going to see today, folks. If you want to listen to that episode, you can go back to anchor.fm, search for The People's Pitch, and queue up episode 53 titled On the Road. But anyways, we did a brief introduction to these guys that are our guests tonight, but let's dive in a little bit quickly on introductions to each of them, since in one way, shape, or form, all three of you have been part of the club since its beginnings in 2016. Kevin Hoof is a product of world beaters, Northern Michigan University, where he's featured 12 times for City, almost 700 minutes over 3 years with 1 goal for, and somehow only 1 yellow card. So I don't know who you paid off, Hoof, for that, but
I'm pretty sure that goal, I think I crossed, Luke headed over, and then Kevin dunked like a header to score.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think it touched all 3 of us before Kevin scored.
It was the Twin Stars away last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, how serendipitous. So Max featured for University of Louisville coming out of high school before finishing his college career at Central Florida. He's seen action in 11 games for City, just under 1,000 minutes, scoring 3 goals and getting booked 1 time. Currently named the co-captain of what we can call the forgotten season. But Max, you've featured for 1 less game than Hoof, but have almost more than 300 minutes than him. How does that happen?
I think Kevin was in and out one season he couldn't come because you stayed up in Northern Michigan, so I think I got a jump on him that summer, because I mean every time we've both been home, I think we've gotten to play together quite a bit. So
Yeah, academics grabbed hold of me. I had to stay up there and take care of things there.
I mean, to the silent observer, it looks as if maybe Max plays full 90 minutes and you kind of come on maybe a little bit later. But hey, whatever you want to, however you want to put it. And finally, we have Luke. Luke has been in and out of the squad one way or another since he finished his time up at Shattuck St. Mary's, and then going off to a standout 4-year career at some place called Creighton University, if anyone's ever heard of that. With stints away from us with the Des Moines Menace, like I mentioned, FC United in Chicago in the then PDL. Luke's featured in 5 matches with 375 minutes, 1 goal, no bookings, and Luke was recently drafted in the 4th round of the MLS draft, 80th overall, with expansion side Nashville SC. And before COVID, was sent out on loan and currently is sitting in Charlotte, where he is a member of the Charlotte Independence in the USL. So, fellas, did I leave anything major out there?
Besides Luke's pro, no.
All right, guys. So we typically like to start off with each guest. We usually ask your soccer background, but John covered that, and we've talked to you all before. We've heard about you all before, so I want to take a different direction. Hoof, why don't you kick it off and tell us how the 3 of you met? Because that's really why we have you all on together. Is you guys have quite a history together throughout your soccer career that just happened to converge once again at Minneapolis City.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? I promise it'll be the only time. I just want to remind folks that if you are tuning in the chat section, you can ask any questions you'd like. We're going to queue those up for a little bit later in the show. If you happen to be maybe Keith Hoof listening and you want to, if you want to incite a hilarious riot between the 3 of these guys, please do so. Just go ahead and throw it down in the questions, and we'll aggregate those, and then we'll get to those in a little bit. So, anyways, proceed. Sorry.
Yeah, well, John, if Keith wants to ask a question, he can just come downstairs. I'm still living here, so make it easy with him.
Got out ahead of that one. I like it.
Walk down the stairs, but no, how we met. Luke and I, we met in Curver. If anybody knows what Curver is, quite a while ago. We were doing some drills, and I remember one day I went on a walk with my parents. I was rollerblading. Went past his house, didn't realize he was living in the same neighborhood as me. Saw Luke and his little brother and little sister playing out front, playing soccer. And I remember I saw them. I grabbed my mom. How old were we, Luke? Like 10 maybe? I don't even remember.
Younger than that. I'll bet you we were 8, 9.
8 or 9, yeah. And I remember I grabbed my mom. I was like, Mom, look, it's Luke from Corver. Can I play with him? And she's like, yeah, okay. And I remember I just absolutely sent it home, like down 2 blocks, 2 streets, just zipped down, grabbed my shoes, ripped back up there, sprinted, just out of breath, gets up there. And then we played World Cup, and that was it. Luke and I probably played World Cup every day of our life. Wow. And then Max, we met through PSA, right? Plymouth Soccer Association.
Yep, PSA, which is now Soccer Club, yeah.
Yeah, for you young listeners, it's not a thing anymore, but we met back in the retro days when it was PSA, and that was when Luke, Max, and I were on that team, and then the 3 of us started all going to Max's house. That was the hangout spot, and we'd go in the basement, we'd play World Cup, we'd probably fight a lot more than we remember because we'd kick each other until one was crying when we're playing World Cup downstairs, or we'd be ripping goals on each other, calling Luke a cheater as we naturally would, and had some great times. But I'd say we were always at Max's house. Carolina, his mom, would cook some absolutely fantastic meals at probably 8 at night. That was Max's normal dinner time, and Luke and I would skip our dinners to go hang out there, and we're usually eating at like 6 o'clock, and we're starving, trying to just nearly gnawing our hands off, and then we'd get dinner at 9 o'clock finally, but it was always unbelievable.
So you guys mentioned World Cup. What was your go-to country?
Kevin would always, it was either Poland or some random African country.
Poland, I remember that.
I think Luke was Captain America all the time. I think I stuck with Argentina most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, or Paraguay. You would be Paraguay sometimes, yeah.
It makes sense that at a young age, Luke, you picked to be Captain America with the jawline that you grew into. I mean, it's
He had a pecs and a six pack back then too, John.
oh man. Yeah, picking the country is a key thing because you don't want to go all in on a country and then you don't perform and then everyone makes fun of you. So you gotta, I respect Poland, Huff.
Thank you.
So Max, seeing that all of you guys clearly know your way around the pitch, growing up, when you guys were starting to play together and kind of move up the ranks, did you guys kind of gravitate towards each other on the field? Was it kind of like a 3-man show sometimes? How did you guys end up kind of building that chemistry together at a young age?
Yeah, I like Kevin said, we all try to play as much soccer as we could together. I remember I even joined Curver because Kevin was in there. That's how I met Luke through there. And then, we ended up going, Luke was at Wings, and then we made like a PSA Wings, like super team for a summer that we tried to do. And then from there we went to Thunder. But I think the chemistry came from just always getting involved in everything we could, right? So whether it was futsal, whether it was some random summer league, and that being at age, 10 through 14, little tournaments we did with Phil Walzak, one of our coaches we all had, Seamus, who's not here anymore, bless his beautiful soul. But, whatever we could, we got involved together. And I think the chemistry just kept growing there. And then when we had practices, I think if it was, find a group of 3, I think it absolutely was always, we know what to expect from each other. And we got together and we were like, hey, we're going to dominate whoever comes on the field with us.
What positions did you guys play when you were younger growing up together?
All-star.
That was your position, all-star?
Yeah.
Hey, young Hoof did it all, man. He played center back, he played outside back, he played striker. They would throw him wherever we needed him at the time. He did it all.
Swiss Army knife. He sits still to this day.
Yeah.
What about you, Luke?
I remember playing outside mid, center mid, and forward for the most part.
And I was a center back, center mid, or outside mid. That was my 3 rotating ones.
It really grew into that center back position, Max.
Made the regional team there.
You guys touched on it. Yeah. I want to get the solid answer out of this because every youth team has one. Which one of you was the kid most likely to cry during or after a game?
I'd have to say Kevin. I think. In a good way. Kevin was always so passionate. Like if we lost to some like shitters, this man, you would not hear from him the entire car ride back home. And our car rides were long, man. I mean, we drove out to like Shattuck, we drove out to like Lakeville, and you would just see Kevin down like this and his, just ready to kill someone after the game. But it was inspiring. And me and Luke would just be looking at each other like, oh, look at this guy crying.
Okay, here's the deal. Okay, Keith Hoof would be the one driving us home. So if I ever had a bad game or we lost, obviously he would be, ready to absolutely ream me a new one when we got home. So I'm just sitting in the car just thinking about all the words that are going to come out of that man's mouth as soon as we get home and Luke and Max are dropped off. So that's why I was always so down, like, oh, crap, what is going to happen this time?
So then who was the most competitive out of the 3 of you?
I would say Luke, because that guy would cheat until he won.
When we played World Cup, if you got past Luke, your shirt was getting ripped into a new one before you scored. I'd have to say Luke as well.
So Luke, is it cheating or just trying to get the competitive advantage?
Call it what you want. It really doesn't matter at this point.
I mean, hey, maybe that's how you get drafted in the MLS. You just cheat your way all the way through it.
Hey, the one who made it.
So, Luke, you guys have all taken different paths in your playing careers, since you guys, grew up together. But like most Crows, all of you guys fly home to the nest at some point or another as you get older. What did it mean last summer to know that you got the opportunity to properly play with Max and with Kevin, like week in, week out, and train and play games with them for maybe the last time that the 3 of you could kind of get together?
Yeah, that was huge. After I ended my junior spring at Creighton, I was sitting with my coach and we were just discussing what I could do because we were going to go to Germany in the summer as a team at the end of June. So I knew that I had basically 2 months where I could either go play PDL somewhere, or if I was hoping to go home just because I want to be with my family for my last summer. And then on top of that, I was like, well, how cool would it be if I could actually go back and, team up with Kev and Max, one more time. So I was really lucky to happen, but couldn't have asked for a better situation. Just my last summer at home, and then come and see the guys. Couldn't have worked better.
And you won a title, so that's always
And
nice.
100% won a title.
What about you guys? How did that feel for you when it kind of all clicked that you're getting the band back together for one last time?
I just remember seeing Luke walk into practice and then Kevin too, and I just started smiling because you already you might not see these guys for 4 years because they've been in college or might not have played together since we were in club, but the chemistry doesn't change, right? It was just a smile on my face.
Yeah, I would say I get so excited when I play these two. Like, I know when we weren't even on the same team and I would play these guys when Luke was at Shattuck or I was at St. Croix, Max was at Thunder before he moved. Like, I would get giddy. Like, my whole entire goal that in game, because at that point, those guys, I mean, they were better than me for sure. I've always believed these guys have been better than me. Like, they're all stars, but my entire goal was to just lock these guys down. And the whole game, I would just be on them, just be on their ass, just not give them an inch of space. And they could probably say that too. They probably remember it, or maybe they haven't thought about it, but I absolutely love it. It's so fun playing with these two or against them.
You guys were all a part of the first season, which, we touched on a little bit before the show started recording, that, it had a few ups and downs, right? But despite that, it was definitely the true stepping stone to where City is today. What is, looking back on that, like, what is the creation of the club and the origins of the club in the first year or so really mean to you guys, knowing that you're all Minnesota-based soccer players and it was a great outlet for you to showcase your talent?
I think it's been, wherever you're from, you're always, especially if you're in college, you want to go back home, right? Because you don't see your family throughout the year, and still be able to compete. And some kids don't have that luxury. It was why I chose to go down and play in Florida for a bit, but it was different, right? You're living in a random apartment, you're not comfortable. And I think when you get to come home, right, you have that luxury of being at home, but also being able to compete. And I think City did the perfect thing to take that stepping stone, right? They were in an okay league the first year, and then decided, hey, like we know how much talent we have here. We want to move into the MPSL, and that was huge for them.
I think it's super unique because, I mean, all those players, you either grow up playing with them or playing against them. And so, like, there'll be some faces that you see there and you're like, oh man, I haven't played with this guy in forever, since like ODP when we were, 97s and we were U14, or you'll see somebody, you're like, holy crap, I absolutely hated playing that guy right there. Like, you just want to kick him. But then, you guys are joking around at the end of the day and you're like, I love this guy. Like, how could I have hated this guy ever? Like, he's the man. So, I mean, it's just such a unique atmosphere that Minneapolis City has been able to develop and build. And it's just something that I cherish and something that I absolutely love about Minneapolis City, and I haven't had with any other team ever.
Yeah, I'll just echo that with what Kev said. I mean, every single time that I get the opportunity to come back, it's so unique because I'll see guys that I know from Shattuck. There's guys that I know from Maple Grove, from Thunder, from ODP. It's just a really unique kind of mix of guys that are all still in the Minnesota area that just want to get together and play and compete, which is a really an untapped market that wasn't there before. But you guys hit it, and it was a big spot for City.
So Luke, you probably had the most experience outside of City at the amateur level, being that you played it with the Menace and FC United. I mean, outside of the obvious being the PDL at the time and training, more obviously because you're there to play soccer versus being home. What are the other differences that you've seen that maybe things that City does that are a little bit different than what those clubs do?
I would say, I mean, it's the biggest difference I would say is there's the homegrown emphasis, right? With City is like listen, we got the local talent for this team. We have a bunch of guys that we know that have played soccer forever, whether they're 28 years old, whether they're 18, whether it's the youngest team at City. It really didn't matter that there's this, it's kind of like a Minnesota identity. And it was all able to come under this Minneapolis City logo, that flag. Whereas in PDL, it was like, all right, I got this kid from California, from wherever it is, all over the place. And we're just coming together for 3 months in the summer, trying to compete for that 3 months, put it all together really quick. And then, we never see those guys again. And it's all about performance at a very high level for the PDL. It's like, all right, we just got to hit these targets as players and as coaches so we can just say we had a good summer. Whereas City, it's like, we're really building something for a longer period of time to kind of have like a legacy within the Minnesota soccer community, completely different to what a PDL team would do. Whereas like, we're just going to recruit a bunch of college soccer guys for the summer. We're going to do the best that we can, and, see you next summer, or see you, a couple years down the road. It's just completely different.
Quick follow-up before we get into the next actual question that we're going to ask. You all played college soccer. What was the perception that when you talked to your coaches, when you said like, I'm going to go play for Minneapolis City this summer, or I'd like to play for Minneapolis City this summer? Because for some coaches, they don't know us from anyone really. We're relatively new, but I think we do provide a good home, as you guys have talked about, for players to come back to, specifically, and obviously one's from Minnesota. But what did your college coaches say when you mentioned us and explained what it was?
I'll just go real quick. I had since I went to do 2 different schools, it was kind of 2 different complete 180 scenarios. At Louisville, they kind of wanted me to be in like a PDL environment, which is kind of why I chose to go out down to South Florida that summer. And they wanted me to do kind of, more of the PDL standard where you're training every single day. And then at UCF, it was more of a, hey, can you find something that's still competitive, but it's not every single day. So your legs are, you're not coming in injured into preseason for the fall. So I think I had quite the perfect balance, to be completely honest.
I think I would say just Minnesota as a whole has just had that stigma about soccer, especially our age group. Maybe the younger age groups, not so much anymore, but I'd say our age group, I mean, when we were growing up going to tournaments, if a Michigan team or a Wisconsin team or a Illinois team saw Minnesota in their group, they were like, oh, let's go. Easy game.
I was that guy from Wisconsin.
Yes. Start the subs, like, let's get it going. Easy win, And so even at the college level at our age, it was almost like, I'm playing for Minneapolis City this summer. When my coach would ask, and he's like, you're going back to Minnesota? And I'd be like, yeah, it's a badass team. We're good. We have great talent, and it's fantastic, But sorry, I think Keith Hoof just had a question come in, or something, a comment there. And he needs to settle down
rather
there.
than bang on the floor, he figured he'd chat you and tell you to stop drinking.
Yeah.
I didn't know Keith had such a vast collection of tiny booze bottles.
Actually, sorry to interrupt you guys real quick, but the chat's got a couple questions here real quick. Keith said, what was the best story I told them during all the car trips to soccer practice?
Gosh. I think
one of the best was, your dad was an EMT, right? Back in the day?
Yep.
So, yeah. It's crazy. Oh my, he has some crazy ass EMT stories. I think it has to be one of those. I remember as a 12-year sitting there like,
yeah, off topic, but that guy, I mean, the stories he told, I mean, coming from the ambulance, I mean, the guy had to dive into Weaver Lake to find a body cut up in bags, and then
that's right.
The lady crashed into a bridge and her head was cut off and sitting in the back seat blinking at her. There's a lot of stuff. But he would always tell us those fantastic stories when we're 10 years old, and it's great for our ears. But,
well, we have quite a few questions, I think, from Keith that we'll get to in a little bit here.
We'll get back to those. Sorry.
That's okay. So you were saying
sociopath. Hey,
so
kid, let me tell you about the time I found a severed head.
It was still blinking.
It's actually in my freezer, boys. You want to see it?
So I have to be the adult in the room and get us back on topic. Sorry, everyone. So you were saying, Kevin, that it was a little bit of like a, what is this? Why are you going back there scenario?
Yeah. Minnesota soccer just had that stigma about it where it was like, it's what is Minnesota soccer? Does it really exist? Are there any good teams? Are there any good players? And I think obviously Minneapolis City has kind of changed that because it's all Minnesota talent, and obviously we perform very well. But coming back to the summers, my coach would wonder, why are you going there? And he would almost suggest other options, like, here's this PDL team. I have connections here. You could play here. And I'm like, I have connections in Minnesota with Minneapolis City. That's all I need.
Aw.
Cute
Cheer.
story.
So this is the circle of trust. Clearly, there's no one else here except for Keith. Time to dish a little bit of dirt. What are some of the memories of your time with City? You know, the things that the inquiring minds want to know. You know, your license now to embarrass anyone. I guess I'm on the table too, so I guess that's okay. But what do you guys remember from your time at City, and whatever you feel comfortable sharing?
Oh gosh.
Do the after hours count?
I mean, you're still on the team, man. So I guess you be careful, but whatever you want. Maybe we'll start with Luke.
I guess I'll start off by asking if Miles Norville will ever stop getting treatment. Well, someone's just honestly, I love Miles. Went to Shadow with him and everything. The guy is an unbelievable player. But you got to ask yourself at a certain point if the treatment is working.
He's just like born on the training table.
So is this just a roast of players right now?
Yeah, it can be.
I think starting off.
Luke, to your point, like Miles is held together by K-tape right now.
100%.
Okay. Does AO know what a carb is? Has he ever eaten one in his life? That guy's 35 and he has a six-pack made by the gods of Greek.
Sometimes it's just how it works when you get older. I don't know what that means.
Who is that guy?
So that's your fondest memory, is that AO doesn't eat carbs? Real good one, Hoof.
More just jealousy. I'm over here going downhill, and this guy over here is at 35 with a six-pack.
No, I think one of my not fondest memories, but funniest memories is we pull into Detroit with about 10 guys, right? We pull into like a little hotel, and nothing too crazy. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't Detroit. It was what was that game we drove about like 4 hours and it was steaming hot on turf, Kev, where we had Jeremy as our goalkeeper.
Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls. All right, so we drive to Sioux Falls. We drive to Sioux Falls, and I think Justin Oliver was my roommate. I don't remember exactly who it was. But we go up the stairs to the second floor, and we can't get to the second floor because there's a homeless guy just laid out with 3-4 locos on the stairs, just passed out. And it was either me and Justin or me and Will, and we're just sitting there like, do we crawl around him? Do we call security? Like, this man was out, and like we stood there for a good 5 minutes, and occasionally he would just like moaning like his life was ending, and I think that describes Minneapolis City away trips.
I remember when we went to play Des Moines Menace when Luke was on there, I went and picked him up, and I was like, hey, come out, hang out with the Minneapolis City guys. We're going to drink for a little bit. And I was supposed to drive him home that night too. Or no, maybe you were driving, but I was like, come hang out. And I remember we played the Finger Cup game. And for any of you who have any questions about the Finger Cup game, contact John Bisworm on Twitter, get the rules. Fantastic game, unless you're me. That game is targeted towards me, I feel like. I definitely drink more than I should every single time we play it for some reason. I think the whole team targets me. Just want to say that, put that out there. But I remember I was supposed to go hang out with Luke afterwards, and I couldn't anymore because of the Finger Cup game.
You got to be careful when you're traveling with Biz because he's gonna get you into trouble at the first place you go to.
Well,
first road trip is
after the games and after we've won.
Yep, exactly.
And I would just like to echo that from Kev, which was so cool, is that you guys had drove down to play us at Des Moines, and it was I think it was just a friendly we were doing.
Yeah,
it had been a long day for me. We had played you guys, and for that I was running because I wasn't very fit, so I needed to get fit. So I was doing doggies before the game. Then I played you guys, and I was like, this has just been a shitty day. I didn't know too many guys at Des Moines. And Kevin texts me and he goes, hey, listen, a bunch of city guys, we're just together in the hotel. Just come hang out with us. And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, that sounds real good to me. Bunch of guys that I know. And I mean, that just echoes everything that, the club's about. How cool is that? I was on Des Moines at the time, but Kev texts me and says, hey, come over, hang out with us after after you guys just lost to us. So it was awesome.
All right. You don't have to put the lost to us part in it, but yeah, we had a good time.
Whoever that guy was that you had playing forward, Luke, who scored a hat trick in the second half, comes on and just fucks around and has a hat trick.
Really? I don't remember that.
Who was that guy?
I don't know, but he's definitely playing for dollar bills right now because that guy was awesome.
He was pretty good.
Sorry, go ahead, Nate.
I was going to say, you guys spend so much time on the road together. You get to know each other really well, not just the three of you, but as a whole team. So you kind of get to understand each other's idiosyncrasies. Like you would know that John Bisworm has a weird thing with shoes where he doesn't wear the same pair of shoes 2 days in a row because they need to air out, and otherwise it's proper shoe maintenance, right?
You gotta take care of your tools, man.
Samuel was on the show, and he told us that he has this weird routine with his feet pregame. Like, who else on the team has a really weird pregame ritual or a strange training ritual that you can think about?
I can start with that. I actually know from experience, just growing up, I know that if I had to drive Kevin to a game and he texts me at any time and says, hey, like, I haven't had anything to eat, I know I got a peanut butter and jelly and banana in the back seat. I already know that. I got a peanut butter and jelly and banana. That's right there every single game.
Yep.
That's so true. I can't.
There we go.
That's just so true. If we're talking about Sam Wall too, can I just mention something?
No.
Just to call the guy out. The guy doesn't wear boxers, compressions, anything during games. He might wear boxers. It's just really weird to me.
Just playing soccer with nature, out in nature, basically, huh?
Just free flying.
Did you guys do you guys know what his weird thing is before games?
Sam Wall? No.
Yeah.
His feet?
He has to wash his feet. Like, his feet have to be clean before he plays soccer.
Yeah, it goes. We heard about this on like one of the first few podcasts when we had him on. He has to wash his feet and he dries them and puts his socks on in a very specific order.
Well, at least he's not like Zahir, who paces around almost naked in the locker room with his jersey like in a fake mannequin style on the like pre-dresser. Boxer just pacing before the game and looks at his jersey like envisions himself in it.
Yeah. Minneapolis City legend Ben Wexler brushes his teeth before every game.
Really?
Yeah, he gets his toothbrush out. He has a special toothbrush for games. He has his toothpaste. I think it's Colgate. Not sure which one, but it's Colgate. And then he brushes his teeth.
See, this is the good shit right here.
So now knowing that stuff, do you guys have things that maybe you didn't realize until now that you do?
In the past, I've had stuff. I've had like specific playlists where I'd have to listen to like certain songs in a specific sequence. And then as I got older, I was like, this is stupid. It means absolutely nothing. It's not going to prepare me in any different way for a game. Like, just go out there and freaking play.
I used to shower before every college game. I don't know why. I just like being in the shower.
Gotta smell good.
Like at the facility or like before you left to go?
No, like at the locker room. Like I would get, like you'd have to be there like 2 hours early before pregame talk. You just go into the shower, a nice little hot shower, and then you put everything on afterwards.
I would, in college, I can't do it really right now, but in college, I had a friend, shout out Paul Cruz if he's listening. We would go before every game just because in college you'd have a night game on like a Tuesday or Wednesday. You'd have a whole day of classes and you're just groggy, and it didn't matter how much coffee you drank, so you needed something. So my sophomore year, we tried it together. We went into, because you don't want to go sit in an ice bath with your legs, but we'd have the whirlpool at Creighton, and we'd like stand in it for 10 seconds and we'd just dunk our heads real quick. And I dunked my head really quick, just rushed, and scored 2 goals that game, and I've done it ever since in college. Every single game, I just dunked my head in the ice bath.
Like the cold ice? Oh, so the cold ice bath.
Yeah, just all the time. My body just wakes right up.
I mean, being the 80th pick in the MLS draft, you probably can pull some strings, right, and get that to happen.
Oh yeah, right. That'd be nice.
Or just get like a big ass Menards bucket and do it yourself.
Hey, 99 cents for a whole thing of ice at Wendy's.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Good to know.
Yeah, the more you know, right?
There you go.
So this might be a question for the other two fellas here about Mr. Hoof. But if Hoof had walkout music of his own to a game, kind of WWE style or like a MLB closer, what would it be?
Probably Don't Call My Name, Alejandro by Lady Gaga.
Oh, I'll say the same thing. That was too good. I don't got a better one.
So
Going on the
Kevin,
game day playlist.
is that true? Would that be your walkout jam?
I mean, back then that was an absolute banger. That or anything by Rihanna. It's calling my name.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Rihanna, you're into Rihanna. I forgot about that.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
So now let's turn the script. So Kevin and Max, what would Luke's walkout song be?
Watch it, boys.
Anything,
Watch it, boys.
anything by Lil Wayne or Eminem.
I would say it's definitely remember the name, and he would have to look himself in the mirror the whole time.
And he'd know every single lyric. And he'd be just singing to himself.
But he would throw in his name instead of where it says remember the name. He would just throw in Luke Haakenson in there.
Yeah. And here's the thing about Luke too, by the way. I'm surprised this guy doesn't have severe hearing loss, because we'd be in the car getting ready for games. Max probably remembers this. Like, we would have our headphones in. We could hear Luke's music over our music when we had our own headphones in, because he was listening to it so loud.
Yep.
Luke, you should get checked out for that, maybe.
So what about Max? What would Max's song be?
Damn.
Oh, Kevin. The one that we always listen to in the car with him. Bedrock. Max knew every single word. Bedrock. Yeah.
That song,
all.
that song did slap a little bit.
Bedrock for sure. Good
I still
call.
call it every lyric to
Good call.
Just so you guys know, my walkout song would be the Jurassic Park theme song.
That's a good one, though. That's a really good one.
You know,
But played on the harmonica. Like,
Nate, what would be yours?
what?
What would be yours, Nate?
Oh man. I think mine would be Jurassic Park, but played on the harmonica, like the joke. Like when
whoa! You can't steal mine.
yeah, I'm the worst version of you. No, what would I walk out?
No.
I don't know.
I fixed it, Nate. We'll walk out together.
It's hard. I'm responsible for like everyone's hype music. It's hard to think about what my own would be. I'll get back to you on that one. There's this band called the Awesome Snakes. They're like a local punk band. It'd be a song by them. That'd be good.
Seeing that you're the Star Wars guy, I would have thought you would have been like that weird music from like the Cantina.
The Cantina theme, just like
Yep.
Second grade. In second
That's
grade,
not intimidating.
Anakin's like ponytail thing down the left side of my head. I was a giant Star Wars fan.
Oh, you
Wait. Did you just say you grew like the little like
the Jedi
thing?
ponytail.
The little just like Jedi like tail. It wasn't even a ponytail. It was like this one like thing here.
I need a picture of that, please. It's just
You gotta ask my mom. It's gotta be
Obi-Wan
deep.
started
what's that?
Obi-Wan started it, then Anakin, then Max.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where we have to mute Hoof.
That's so good.
All right, Nate. Moving on.
Yeah. So I think we would definitely be remiss if we didn't talk about how big of a winter you had, right? You got drafted, you joined Nashville, consequently off to Charlotte, where you are now. And now you're here with us on the podcast, which is a rational next step. I want to know what the lead up experience was like to the draft. Like, I know you went to workouts, you probably took some calls, took some meetings, but like, what was that process like? And how do you, how would you summarize that experience?
Gosh, you can't really summarize it, but there's just so much that's going on, right? So as soon as college ends, it's tough because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, did I do enough, like for my college career? Like, no regrets, all of that. But then at the same time, you got to think forward right away. So it's kind of like thinking about agents, thinking about what teams are interested. Do I need to go to combines and all that stuff? And it's constantly planning. It's like you can't plan enough, which is really, really tough because I'm kind of the kind of guy that likes to have control of things. Just my personality. But you just can't have that because you have no control over where you're going to get drafted or who's going to take you or anything like that. So obviously before the draft, my agent kind of has some idea of the teams that are interested and where I could go. So the first 2 rounds happened. I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't get drafted the first two rounds. So then I have to wait the weekend. So I had to wait Saturday and Sunday. And then I start hearing some rumors through players that are in the MLS now, just texting me saying, hey, my GM just called me. He's wondering about you. Do you have any video? All kind of stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking, do I want to go there? Is that like great? It's in Canada? Is that, all this stuff that's going on? And so I was sitting, then the day comes and there's nothing live on YouTube for the third and fourth round. It's literally Twitter stream. So you just got to refresh. And so I was with my girlfriend and my mom, and we were trying to run really quick to get some coffee before we sat down. And there was this huge line at the Starbucks, but we just wanted to grab coffee. And I was like, all right, screw this. I'm just going to run inside. And my mom's like, no, we're already in the drive-thru. Just chill. And as we're sitting there, it starts. And we think that this is going to take an hour, right? Because you got 2 minutes per pick.
It's like boom, 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 boom.
It started just going boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden I check, and the teams that I heard last night that were interested all of a sudden started passing, which means they can't take another pick. And I just start getting really nervous. I'm like, all right, am I going to have a team or whatever? So we grab the coffee. We're turning to go onto the road. We're sitting at a stoplight, and I keep refreshing. My mom's driving the car and trying to refresh. My girlfriend's refreshing. And she refreshes it finally, and she goes, "You're going to Nashville." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, wow!" It was so funny because I had no idea that Nashville was even interested in me. That wasn't even one of the teams I was thinking of at all. I had no idea. And so I said, "Well, that's the expansion team. That's awesome. I mean, what a better opportunity. You couldn't ask for a better one than a brand new team coming to the league with a bunch of new guys that are from all over the place." And so I packed up my stuff. I think 2 days later, I was on a flight down to Tampa, and I was only guaranteed 2 weeks in Tampa. After those 2 weeks, I flew back to Minnesota, and they invited me back down for the rest of the preseason in Tampa, where I played a bunch of games with them, and then came all the way down to the last day of preseason before I walked downstairs. I took the elevator downstairs, and then waiting in the lobby was the team admin with the contracts ready for me to sign.
Nice.
That's so weird that they wouldn't have called you.
Sorry?
That's so weird that they wouldn't have called you.
Yeah.
That they were going to draft you.
Yeah. I mean, it was insane. It really was. And I think a big part of it was the GM, Mike Jacobs, awesome guy, really, really smart guy, does his research on actually college players, which a lot of GMs don't, which is credit to him. He had been tracking me since my freshman year of college, and he was a big fan, and he just kept silent on me, and I had no idea. So,
Luke, you were at training with us, winter training, the day before the draft.
Yeah.
And what you don't know is that there was I coached a high school team in the fall, and I invited one of the kids out to just kind of see what the level was like. He's going into his junior year next year, so he's relatively young. He was on your team, and he said, "Man, that guy is so good. What's his story?" And I just said, "Just go to MLS.com tomorrow and just figure it out." And then he ended up getting back to me saying, "Wait a second, that guy from Minnesota is going to go play in the MLS and not with Minnesota United." It didn't compute in his head. Yeah. And he's like, "Man, I really want to be part of this when I get older."
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's cool. So once you joined the team, once you got down to Tampa and ended up practicing, what was it like to start training professionally? Like you played for Des Moines, you played in Chicago, but it's obviously a little different story in the PDL even. Is there anything that you experienced that you didn't really expect, or that threw you for a loop?
I mean, for the most part, it's all the things that you hear about that are pretty consistent with what a lot of kids experience jumping from college or amateur to professional level. It's just a lot of speed of play stuff. I mean, I did have the like, oh wow moment where I was on the field and I saw our DP player, Hani Mukhtar. They bought him from Denmark for like 3 million, and I literally thought that I had him trapped in like a very tiny corner of the field. He was just trapped there, and he's a number 10. If anyone wants to go watch his highlight, I mean the guy's legit. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the DP now. I'm gonna take the ball from him, and he literally took the ball with the back of his heel between my legs, and I literally had no time to even close them. I turned around and Hani was just the other way, and I just thought that was on my first day, and I had that moment where I was like, oh wow, this is different. I got to be up to this every single day, and it's 2 a days, and they're like 2 hours each. It's just a grind. But at the same time, it's like, heck, I've been working for this my whole life. Like, what an opportunity. There's nothing, I got nothing to lose. Like, just enjoy this because you're not going to get it again. So,
Now, Max, you experienced something similar when you went to Italy to train for a little bit. I think the way you talked to us about it is that, and even when you would go down to Paraguay to play, that the attitude that people brought to practice even was shocking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think South America, especially, it's a very different culture and attitude. Some guys, like I've said before, they don't perform, their family's not eating that night. So it's a very like savage culture almost. It's they know what's on stakes, and the stakes are very high for them. And for a lot of people in the U.S., even in Europe, they're more fortunate that their parents can play for club soccer. Over there, you have to be good enough to get scouted, to get called over to a different team, so you can be the man to provide food and on the table for your family. So it's, yeah, like Luke said, first of all, the speed of play is different too, but guys aren't really going to hold anything back from it, and they don't care where you're from or who you are. Everything's on the line.
Well, now all three of you, just like everyone else, are kind of stuck at home. Each of you has, we were planning on playing soccer this summer in a different way, but you still have to at least maintain some level of fitness. What is the plan that each of you guys has moving forward? How are you staying fit? How are you keeping sharp? And do you have any advice, or have you learned anything that you want to pass on to the kids out there, or the parents of the kids?
Kev, you want to start?
Yeah. Oh man. So I actually just started a challenge. It's called the 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups in a day challenge. Pretty sore today, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a good thing. Get after it, and then I just run like 3 miles every other day. Nothing too crazy, but I think Luke would be the one to talk about a fitness program here. I think he's got pretty set schedule. I know Max, even being at the schools he's played for, has had pretty good support when it comes to creating programs and whatnot. I have, but I think those two guys are the best ones to talk to because I got to go pee anyways. So I'll be right back. Okay.
Too much Fireball.
Sorry.
Sometimes the Fireball wins.
Yeah, no, I think staying fit, I think it's a choice more than anything, right? It's easy to stay on the couch or stay inside and not really do much, especially nowadays. I even see my little brothers, right, play video games a little too much just because it's the new way to hang out with your friends, right?
Convenient.
Yeah, it's easy. You don't really have to go anywhere. You just get online, you put on a microphone, and you're talking to your friends. But no, I think, like I said, staying fit is a choice. There's so many different YouTube tutorials and programs. You even have pro players going live on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, of just showing different workouts you can do, and then you can take those and just customize them to what which ones you like, which ones you don't like, which ones benefit you. It's always good to get out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself, right? If one says, okay, you got 5 sprints up and down a full field, that doesn't sound like fun to anyone, but I know Luke can attest to that. You've got to do some crazy fitnesses where you really feel like you can't breathe anymore, but you just got to tell yourself to keep going and keep going and keep going, and eventually you'll come to an end.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like a job. now that it's my rookie season, and basically
It is a job, Luke.
it is a job, like 100%, and I like to keep it. That's the most important thing. But for us, I mean, any guy that's on, I can attest to Charlotte and to Nashville. We're in constant communication with coaches, fitness guys. I know starting tomorrow, Nashville starts individual practices, so they're actually doing basically quarantine practices with one coach, one fitness guy. So we're starting to get back on the field into small individual stuff. But for the last month, there's a lot of different ways they've been doing it. They'll send us bike workouts. A lot of the guys got sent bikes, a lot of workout equipment where they have like certain apps that we can download, and then they have us log into the apps and then make sure that we are basically going through it. So they have our times and everything, and it's pretty down to a science, just to make sure that everyone's kind of being honest and staying fit.
Have you heard
So
any chatter about a potential return date on the horizon, or is it just a matter of like stay fit, take every day as it comes, and updates will be
Yeah.
given to you as
It's interesting that you asked that, because every single person, player, doesn't matter who it is that I talk to about it, it's like this is unprecedented. Like no one has ever seen this, and it's just really tough because no one really has an answer. I know for us, it's a huge step that MLS is starting finally to do the individual trainings. And I would guess, just as this is not anything behind it, but just my personal opinion guess, is we'd see MLS and USL back by July-ish.
what?
So, Luke, did you get a free bike or a free Peloton?
No, I didn't get it sent. I tried to get it, but you had to go pick it up in Nashville, and I was in Charlotte, so I didn't get it.
Okay, well, if they're ever delivering, just make sure that you connect my address, because you don't need it.
drive past Hoof's house, and maybe it'll fall off the truck.
Yeah, I'll have a new address in June, so I'll make sure to send it to you.
So we're gonna get into listener questions here in a second. But one thing I wanted to ask you guys is because I assume that all of you played in the DA at one point, or at least with the Thunder and higher level soccer. What's your guys' take on the fact that the DA has now gone away? And Luke, you might have to pass on this one, being with who your employer is now. But the fact that the DA has basically just fallen apart, and then now it's all being folded into MLS Academy type league that may invite some schools, or sorry, some programs into it. I mean, like, so Shattuck, where you went, Luke, was a quality DA program. Now, like, what would they do?
Oh gosh, I mean, I was shocked, honestly. The way that I found out is I was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw the news that they canceled. I was just really, really shocked. And for a school like Shattuck, I really don't know what their next step is. I would assume that it's just they find the next league to stay competitive and get kids that want to commit to a high level program like that. But beats me, honestly.
I think it has both its pros and cons. I think it's a lot more talent is gonna flow into those MLS, youth teams. A lot more guys are trying to get pro contracts at a younger age. But it also kind of sucks. You had really good DA clubs. I know Luke can attest, when you go down and play playoffs, or you go down and, in the showcase, you see teams like, Baltimore Bays FC, a team out east, even like Shattuck, Thunder at a point. There were clubs that really, they competed with MLS teams. I know Shattuck, you guys beat LA Galaxy a couple times. They would like smack around Philadelphia Union here and there. So, it was clubs that, they built their own legacy, right? They didn't have a top team. So their top team was their 18s and their 16s. They were the example for the whole club. And that had its legacy in itself. So I think you'll see a lot more clubs here now locally, like Fusion, like Salvo, those top tier clubs that are in the youth competitive leagues. You'll see a lot more of them get more talent. But it's also, I think, when you have the DA systems, you get a lot more talent focused into one team. And I think that just pushes players, and, it elevates the game for sure. So it'll be a kind of a pros and cons. It'll be interesting to see where it goes, though, I think.
Yeah, and going off Max, I never played DA, so I kind of saw the other side of things. I grew up playing with St. Croix, and I mean, there's a lot of talent out there that never did play DA. Some states that didn't have the academy programs, for example, Iowa, they never really did have academy teams. So they could have had an academy team. They really had like one powerhouse club that just absolutely ran through the entire state, and they had really good talent there. But those players were never academy, so they never got the exposure like academy players would. So for me, it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of pans out, and if there will be more accessibility for players who wouldn't have seen that before, like DA kind of separates itself from regular club, because there are talented players in club that wouldn't have seen DA ever, that could have played at the same level. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to level that playing field, or if it'll be similar in the sense where there will be more accessibility one way or the other.
Okay, so now we're at the time where it's listener question time. If you haven't got your questions in, slide them into the chat. They'll be thrown into my headset here, and we'll ask them. But the first question was asked by Keith that we already answered. What was the best story? There was a lot of EMT stories. The next one comes from listener Chaboy69. Nice.
Who's online username?
Love that.
Classic. And when I read it, I hope the owner is who I think it is. Who's the most responsible for the three of you having a successful career, and why is it Keith Hoof?
Well, I mean, I think my dad, for me at least, my dad's always put it in the best way possible. I think my success does come from Keith. You know, Keith is the one that pulled me into the top team at PSA. And then from PSA, Keith had heard about Thunder and took me to Thunder. So I think if it wasn't for Keith Hoof, I might have been playing basketball at a very, very smaller hoops setting. But for sure, no, it definitely is to Keith Hoof.
I hope, Keith, if that's your screen name, you know I have much respect for you, but it just like levels straight up to the top.
God, I really don't know, but I mean, just playing off that, I mean, Keith's just been an underdog his entire life. He's faced a lot of adversity. He had cancer at the mid-20s. He's had a heart attack. I mean, the guy just battles, and he just defeats anything in his way.
He's currently behind Kevin with a whiteboard telling him what to say.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much thrown at the guy. I mean, a doctor told him he'd never have kids, and he pops out 3. So I think just going off of that, I mean, our mentalities have just been stronger since Keith Hoof in our lives, and it's just been, you know, nothing can stand in our way. We're just going to knock it down, whatever's in front of us.
I can echo that, and I would say you are always guaranteed a very, very good conversation with Keith Hoof. So if you ever see him in the stands at Minneapolis City, and you just want a good conversation and a good person to talk to that's authentic, go see Keith. Just go see Keith Hoof.
All right, so from Side Webbing, first-time caller, long-time listener, maybe first-time viewer, since this is our first dip into that pond. Which of the younger Crows in the club grows the best mustache?
Younger Crows. Oh, what's that kid's name? He played at St. Thomas.
Oh, God, what is his name?
He's super young. Like, I think he's like 18 or 19. He's like, he can play anywhere. He's a small kid, super quick, outside backer, outside mid. He was on my team in the AVA. He's a City 2 guy, but he has the craziest, like, he grew it in like a week. It was insane. I don't know if he's like boosting up like testosterone shots or what, but that man has a crazy mustache.
He is
St. Thomas guy.
He
Are
is
you talking about Jake McAlow?
It might.
No.
Color hair does he have?
He's darker.
Yeah, it's like a brownish, dark hair.
Yeah.
He's a shorter guy. He's really quick on the ball.
Oh, you're thinking about Adam King.
I don't know. Let me look him up on Instagram.
It's Adam King. It's Adam King.
Yeah, he is hilarious.
He goes to Hamlin. Look up Hamlin's
Yes,
soccer team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what it is. Yeah, he does.
Adam King.
Yep.
All right.
Love that.
All right. So this one's from a listener by the name of Keith Hoof. Rumor has it that Luke and Kevin's sisters are better soccer players than they are. Is this true?
100%.
Well, let's just say one of the sisters. I would say my sister, no. Meredith Haakenson, yes. And can we just say that Luke and I created that?
100%.
Get full 100% credit for
You all bullied
all
her
of Meredith's.
into being the baller she is today.
Yeah.
Your sister goes to or graduated from Michigan, Luke?
Yeah, so she's currently a sophomore at the University of Michigan.
Okay,
and
sophomore.
graduating from high school, just to put it in perspective, for her graduating class, she was ranked, I think, 23rd in the country as a soccer player, as a women's soccer player. So she's, Kevin always loves to say it, and so do I. But the times that the boys were in the backyard playing World Cup, and I'll actually say it, but she would literally, the first couple of years that she'd come in the back and play, there was so many dirty knees, bloody elbows, whatever it was. She'd go up to dad and mom and say, the boys aren't being fair. And my dad would yell back down, Mare, you're playing with the big boys now. And finally, after she graduated high school and where she is now, I mean, she's a superstar. She's better than both of us.
My dad used to call that the toll. You got to pay the toll to play
Exactly.
the game.
Exactly, John Bisworm.
The toll, the toll might be losing a tooth, but hey, that's what you got to play.
Yeah.
All right, so from Prime Slick _ Rick 2121, awesome name. Who's the best midfielder out of the three of you?
Well, we got
That's
number 10 who got drafted, so I think that speaks for itself.
I mean, that's a tough question because I think all of you bring something different to the midfield. Maybe I answer this one. I don't know.
I mean, I've heard from Little Birds that we are the perfect midfield. I mean, we've got a 6 who will kill someone if he has to. We've got a box-to-box 8, and then we've got a 10 who makes the plays happen. So I think you got a perfect little trio going on.
It really is. I mean, if you want the traditional triangle midfield, you're looking at us three.
Yeah.
Why you got to pick one, John? You got the perfect 3 right here.
I didn't ask the question, Kevin. Stop yelling at me.
Hey, Rick Slick. Hey, who was it? Rick Slick?
Prime Slick _ Rick 2121.
Well, there's your answer for you.
Slick, stay at home. Stop starting stuff. Come on.
I mean, if things go well in Charlotte, Luke, you can put a word in, and then you got your comfort zone to fly in from Minnesota to land behind you.
There you go.
All right, so this one's from Crescencio 5 _
That's Jonah, by the way.
Jonah Garcia. Max Steigwardt equals second best FIFA player in the club. That's not a question. I just wanted to read it to see if that dashed it. Yeah.
I'm just waiting until we play on the stream. I'll let my plan do the talking.
So I think you guys need to play best of 3 on each platform.
Sure, I'll beat him on his own platform.
Oh, ooh, the gauntlet.
You heard it here first.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
Wow.
This one's from Team Paul. Paul's a massive back. Everybody knows. Everybody at City knows Paul. Paul's a massive backer of the club. He says, favorite club to play against in the conference and least favorite, and why?
So we just did Minneapolis City player interviews, and there's a question about teams in the league, and I don't really like or dislike any team as well as the NPSL. I really just like Minneapolis City, and that's it.
You're such a
honestly.
I'll hop in if that's it. I'll go right off the bat and say that the hardest team to play, the most hated team to play is Duluth. That game that I played last summer at home against Duluth, it was a legit game. I'm not lying. The pace of the game was fast. It was rough. It was tough. My jersey was ripped down the middle. There had to be a new number 15 jersey.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was that game was legit. And they are bastards on the field. They just constantly talk nonstop. It's legit.
I mean, like Luke said, I think my favorite games are Med City and Duluth, just because those games are intense and there's no room for mistakes. I think it brings out the best in City, because even when we've had Duluth's coach yell at our fans and our players, we can still provide with a W. So I think that's probably one of my two favorite teams to play against for sure.
So it seems as if you guys kind of blended in your least favorite and favorite kind of are maybe one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit of both to it for sure.
I'm just gonna answer this question because I can. So I actually really enjoy playing the Twin Stars. Not only because it's more of a local team. There's always some weird shit that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But also I feel as if their preferred 3-5-2 actually is like the perfect counterbalance with the players that they have in their club with how we roll out. Like it's almost it's very much a chess match. It's not two similar 4-3-3s going against each other. It's really like a give and take on where players are on the field. And there's never been like a 4-2, suck it Duluth, scoreline against them. It's always been like a 2-0 loss on our end, a 2-1 win on our end, a 1-0 win. I don't think more than 3 goals has been scored in one of those games. So I would say
I've never lost to the Twin Stars, by the way, though. That's just don't have.
I just want to say that they don't want to play us in Maple Grove if I'm playing.
That's very true.
That's right.
He defended his King's Court.
My favorite, I mean, you guys connected obviously for the game-winning goal, but my favorite was the first tackle that you had, Kevin, in the second half when you came on to play the 6. Just destroyed a guy, but it could not have been a more legal tackle. I remember the ball went straight backwards off the guy, and Elder caught it like it was a shot on target, and it was like 35 yards away.
Whatever works, as long as he caught it and didn't go in the back of the goal.
And I remember, I think I don't know if it was Wexler. It was an injured player was sitting next to me, and then he just was like, "You got hoofed."
It was Wexy.
So the last question, unless we have some more come through here, is from Mark MSP, going with the traditional user handle there. What do you think is the main reason soccer has become so popular over the past few years, and what's changed?
I would honestly just watching. Sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Max.
I have little brothers who are now getting into the competitive stage. They're 11, 12 years old, and I think the skill level and just the intensity at that age is so much higher than like when we were 11, 12 years old. I see guys doing like rainbows in games. The style of play is a lot different. The mentality behind it is a lot different. There's 11-year-old teams that they're positively possessing other teams, in their attacking third. And when you go back to our age, it was kind of just not so much just kick and run, but you could much more identify the standout players compared to the bad ones. And now it seems a lot more even, like everyone's, kind of really into the game.
Yeah, I mean, just going off of that, it's just like soccer it's constantly moving. It's complex. It's free. It's fun. It's not scripted for the first 15 plays of the game. You're not calling a play in the middle of a rebound or a play. Like it's a constant flow. You gotta make it up as you go. And I think that's one thing that soccer has an advantage in other sports that are constantly moving and are at a fast pace. Like people want to just watch stuff, and they don't want to watch advertisements. They want to watch a game that's constantly flowing. They want to watch something that's moving, that's going to keep their eyes busy. It's going to keep their brain busy the entire game. They got to evaluate it. And the more people understand about soccer, the more they enjoy it. So that's the one thing that I've run into where people are like, why would I watch soccer? It's only 1-0. And it's like, if you understand the game and the flow of the game, you're going to love it. Like go to a Minnesota United game, enjoy the atmosphere. Go to a Minneapolis City game, enjoy the fans heckling the players about their hairdos, their cleats that are 10 years old, like it's more than just calling plays and watching advertisements.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
is it the rise of the MLS? Is it the accessibility or the more opportunities that people have to watch soccer? You know,
I would,
the
yeah,
huge TV contracts, all that stuff, like that's leading to this explosion.
I would say so, Nate. I think that just from the time that all three of us were kids, I mean, not one of us can say with any like any notion of seriousness like that we thought that Minnesota would have an MLS team, and that MLS would be here in Minnesota with a huge stadium that is lights out. I mean, even when I was 15 years old, I wasn't even thinking about that. And so I think you're hitting it spot on with accessibility. I think with media rights, television rights, the way that it's coming on television more. And I think Kevin hit on the third thing, and which all of us love about soccer is the cultural aspect of just bringing people together. Right? It's like in every single other country, it's like if you have the same jersey as another person, all of a sudden you become the same in the same group. It's not the same with American football. If you see a Vikings jersey down in Florida, you're going to say, "Oh, hey, that guy's got a Vikings jersey. That's weird." Whereas, all of a sudden you're in England or wherever it is, and some guy's got a Manchester United jersey. It's like, "Oh, hey, did you see the game last weekend?" It's just a completely different thing. The cultural aspect of soccer is so unique to any other sport, and I think people attach to it differently.
And if you see a City jersey in Charlotte, you just autograph it right away, right?
100%.
So there's one more question that came through from Paul again. I really, Paul, this is a great question. Did any of you guys play other sports growing up? Like, I mean, obviously we're Americans. We all play a lot of sports, but I mean, I'd be more interested in organized sports. But in general, answer Paul's question. And I'm gonna do what Kevin did. I'm gonna go pee.
This is good because we had Brandon, like John said, we had Brandon on a couple weeks ago, and he talked about growing up playing a number of different sports. I know he's been advocating for that, tweeting it out. I know Bayern Munich just recently eliminated their U9, U10 program to make sure that their kids are playing other sports up until the U11 age. What were your alternate sports, and how did they affect you? That's a great question, Paul.
I mean, for me, I played the classics. I mean, you grow up playing, you play t-ball, you play soccer, you play basketball, you play football. So I played all of those, and I think it was
All the hits.
all of them. I mean, I sucked at baseball. I mean, I couldn't catch I was the guy out in right field. Coach said, "Hey, go stand out there, go pick some flowers," because I sucked. Basketball. I mean, I was as athletic as a kid. I was fast. I couldn't shoot, but I mean, soccer just kind of came natural to me. I guess I can use my feet better than I can use my hands, and I think soccer again as well is just I love to run. I love to just do whatever I wanted on the field. So soccer just kind of came natural. And at a young age, I just kind of took that up. And without my parents' push, I mean, Keith didn't know anything about soccer really when we were younger. He coached my sister, but didn't know much about the sport. And when I kind of got into it, he tried to help me out too. But even without a family that knew too much about soccer, it's just something that kind of stuck with me because of how much it flowed, and I guess it just with the feet came more natural than my hands. You can ask my roommates from college. I suck at basketball and everything else.
Luke, how about you?
Yeah, same thing as Kev. Just like growing up in Minnesota, I mean, soccer is not a huge sport for us growing up. I think that's changed now, but I played football, basketball, even played baseball for a little bit. Just your classic American sports.
Max, do you have a different story? Or you're about the same.
Mine was completely different. I did not touch a single other sport. My family being very Latin American, it was always, soccer. My dad played soccer. Since I was a little kid, we watched, you know, EPL, La Liga, Italian league back then was awesome to watch. Every World Cup, I have pictures and videos of us watching it together. I tried to get into, my dad tried to throw me in like golf lessons and tennis lessons, and I would always find the golf ball or the tennis ball was back in my feet. So I never even wanted to go a different route.
That's awesome. That's cool.
All right,
guys.
last call, folks. Give me a.
Heath doesn't have anything more. If Heath was going to say anything about that last comment, it would be the fact that he was a swimmer in college, and he tried to force me to swim, and I looked at him like he was crazy. That's what he
Dad he was quite a football player, wasn't he, Luke?
Yeah, he was. He could throw the ball.
He had quite an arm, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have a nickname because his arm he could throw quite a far way.
Well, our whole family, we all have nicknames. It's just because our last name is Haakenson. So my sister, all the way through high school and college, her nickname is the same as mine. I was all the way through high school and colleges. We're all called Hawk, which is weird. But John, our youngest, he's Little Hawk, just because Meredith came through and him as Hawk, and now everyone knows him as Little Hawk.
Yeah. Is it Little or Lil? Is he?
Lil.
Is he?
It's Lil. It's Lil. Lil.
For sure, Lil.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So, Nate, why don't you just take it away, pal?
Yeah, this is going to be great. So since we have you guys all here together, we thought we'd play a fun game between the 5 of us that's going to help everyone get to know you, but it's also really going to show off the brotherhood of Minneapolis City. Before the show, we all, John, me, Luke, Max, and Kevin, submitted confessions about embarrassing stuff that we've been doing during quarantine. I stole this bit from my best friend Jimmy Fallon. So I'm gonna read these confessions one at a time, and we're gonna have to figure out as a group who wrote it. And if it's your confession that I read, you have to bluff and make us think that it's someone else, right? So the point is to either try to guess the correct person, or if it's your confession, try to convince everyone that it's not yours. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Hoof and I are gonna do a shot quick.
All right.
Sorry, it's something we've been doing, I guess.
Yeah, cheers.
Here we go. Because of quarantine, my Fortnite level is now over 100.
Definitely Kevin.
Kevin.
It's not
Quick. Kevin, do you have anything to say for yourself?
It's not me. I know that.
No.
Fortnite's a dark game, fellas. Fortnite's a dark game.
I feel like maybe it's a tricky
all
one,
5.
and it's Luke.
So it's all 5 of us, right?
I could see it being Nate.
I want to say it's for sure Nate.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin plays Fortnite. I think we had this conversation a while ago, and I don't think he plays Fortnite.
I think I'm a decent guess, but my boy is the one that plays Fortnite. I'm definitely not a Fortnite guy.
Are you just playing the game now, or are you telling the truth?
Wait, what was the thing again?
I'm a total nerd and I play Fortnite a lot.
Because of quarantine, my Fortnite level is now over 100. Is the
no one that plays Fortnite says that, so I think actually it could be Luke.
Yeah, I think it's Luke.
Right.
No one talks about their level of Fortnite.
Max, Luke has only played sports games his whole life.
He got really bored. There's only so much you can do in quarantine.
I know, but shit's weird now, right? Like it's Luke. It is Luke.
We think it's Luke?
I think it's Luke.
Also, Biz has been pretty good about pointing the finger here.
I think you could give Biz a whole year and he wouldn't get to level 100 in Fortnite.
No, fuck that shit. I don't play
It's
Fortnite.
not me. You guys were wrong. I think if we say it's Luke, is it Luke?
I think it's Luke.
I'll go Luke.
I think it's Luke.
That's me.
Yeah!
Someone that talks about their level in Fortnite does not play Fortnite that often.
Yeah.
So do I win something because I said it was Luke first?
No, we keep going.
Luke, I got your number, Luke. I know how you're bluffing.
You read the questions before. You read all the answers.
No, I didn't see them. Only Tyler saw them, and then Nate's now reading them.
You did email them to me, but I forwarded them on to Tyler. I forwarded your confession on to Tyler without looking.
Good.
I swear on my children, who during quarantine I may try to drown, that I have not seen these questions.
All right, next confession. I've been watching a lot of Gordon's Kitchen Nightmares, and started to take after the ways of Gordon Ramsay. So whenever my girlfriend and I cook together, I turn it into a very stressful environment, and I may have called her an idiot sandwich while holding 2 pieces of bread to both sides of her head, asking, "What are you?"
Kevin Hoof. Kevin Hoof.
Yeah, you got it. I
That's
mean,
me.
I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, Gordon Ramsay's just taking over my life here.
You
Wait, what
didn't
did
even
you call her
deny it.
again? What'd you call her?
An idiot sandwich?
You stick 2 pieces of bread on their head like this. And you yell them, "What are you?" And then they have to say they're an idiot sandwich.
Oh man, Kevin.
All right, loving relationship. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, confession.
We're still together.
I've been drinking all of the Trulies that I bought for my significant other.
Max.
That's
no,
a Max.
no, not Max. Not
That's
Max.
a Max.
That's Nate or John.
I don't think John drinks water.
That's
That
Nate?
is
Nate for sure.
I think it's Nate.
Wait, I think that's another Hoof.
I'm all Summit, baby.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah, it might be Hoof. It might be Hoof.
It might be another Hoof. Hoof was very quick to point the finger to somebody else there.
We only had one submittal.
Max, did you say you had White Claws? I heard you saying you were going to drink a what? Are you
Yeah.
White Claws instead?
I have White Claws in the fridge, not true.
Yeah, then it's not Max.
Claws are different from Trulies, and
I'm gonna
think
go. I'm gonna
Nate
go with John because
was
I
very
think
guilty.
I feel like Jessie is a healthier drinker, so she probably won't drink all the Summit that John's got in the fridge.
I think it's idiot sandwich below me, like Kevin Huff.
I'm going to go John. I'm going to go John on this one.
I'm going Nate.
Max, you said who?
I think it's Nate. I'm gonna pull it off ball here.
Okay, so we got 2 for me, 2 for John. It's me.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm drinking.
We're
all
an
the
old granddad household.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't even. She just
If John's drink isn't 90% alcohol, it doesn't survive in his liver.
Did they just?
80.
My
80.
wife doesn't even drink Truly. It's just mine.
All right, this is a good one.
I love a good seltzer.
I'm excited for this one. I have worn only Minneapolis City gear for 30 straight days, and my neighbors have asked me if I've washed it and if I own anything else.
Definitely
John.
John.
Wait a second.
No, John.
Oh,
No,
wait a second.
No explanations
Definitely
here.
John.
How can I'm saying it's Nate because Nate look what he's wearing right now.
Well, it just was Nate. And I know it's not me, so I know it's you.
You would also know that I'm
It's
not
Nate.
really. I don't talk to my neighbors.
God damn, it's me. But my neighbors have started to not talk to me because of what? My glorious mustache. They like
Because
leave me
your
alone.
Stank ass city gear is why.
Yeah, my city gear and the fact that I have a disgusting mustache. Like I said hello to some people yesterday who had like a smaller child, just like they walked by. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? And then like the mom kind of like ushered the kid away.
Not this kid.
I was doing like yard work. I was all full of dirt and shit. And then they looked like I was like, hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, no, mom just was
John
like,
would
keep
prefer
on moving.
Bob's Burgers.
So it's definitely John, is what we're agreeing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. I mean,
I'm gonna
it's
do
literally all I own.
I'm gonna say that some of you guys did submit more than one, so
So
we're
let's do it.
This is not process of elimination here. All right, I've spent over 45 minutes on the toilet on multiple occasions.
That's not mine, but I can relate.
No, yeah, that's same with Kevin. It's not mine, but probably true.
Can I just say one thing? Luke Haakenson has been known to be on the toilet for very long times.
No. That's a good try. That's a good try, but we know it's you.
Also,
Kev.
listen. Luke is the type to submit two. Luke is the type to submit one and be done.
I don't know.
I feel like if anyone, John is gonna end up on the toilet for a really long time because he'll like fall asleep at 3 a.m.
No, I'm gonna say that Luke takes 4th round MLS pick type dumps, and he's there a long time.
I will say,
Like, what do they mean?
Luke, it'll be days before he has to sit on the toilet for a while, so he's on there for
The
a
truth
while.
is, Luke was on the toilet from that Friday to Monday waiting for his name to be called.
yeah, getting coffee.
Yeah.
More like taking a shit.
All right, enough's enough. It's me. All right.
There we go. That's good. All right, a couple more here. So during quarantine, I have become obsessed with Dino chicken nuggets.
Was our fire.
Nate.
That's very childish. Me? Why? Because I have children?
You just look like a guy who
mean,
loves some chicken nuggets.
I think it's Tyler.
Dino shaped plus.
Tyler, the producer, is not playing the game.
Tyler does have a Dino Nugget look to him, though.
He does. Although
I think so. Max just moves into a new apartment complex with his girl.
You think we're having Dino Nuggets for dinner?
Go to Costco, and he just sneaks the Dino Nugget pack right into the
Dino
purchase.
Nugget
Know
budget?
it.
That's
Yeah.
harsh.
And then you guys are cooking. You open up the freezer. What should we eat tonight? And you're like, Dino Nuggets. I think it's Max.
No.
I think it's Max.
No, there's no way. If you have Max on Snapchat, he is constantly posting Snap stories or sending pictures of his meals. He is eating good, and it is not Dino chicken nuggets.
And I
I
signed.
feel like if anyone's going to be swimming through
I signed
Dino
all of
Nuggets
them
and
off
Scrooge
Sean
McDuck,
Beck.
it's Kevin Hoof.
Huff, do you think he literally is only eating the times he posts pictures of it? Come on, man.
I don't know. I do
If
send
he's
Snapchat
alien.
every time I eat.
I think it's Max.
I think it's you or Nate. The
I
ones
think
with
it's.
kids.
I'm gonna go John with how much he's trying to blame Max.
I'm going to say Hoof.
I've been watching Gordon Ramsay. How are you gonna put Dino chicken nuggets on me?
Yeah, that's true too. I think it's
'Cause
Tyler.
it sounds like your girlfriend's a terrible cook.
Wait, who is it? Do we figure out who it
Damn it,
was?
Dino Nuggets again.
It's Nate.
Okay,
Nate.
it's not. Who is it? Oh, Max!
I told
I
you.
love Dino
Oh.
Nuggets, guys. They're so good.
Max,
Excellent
you
work.
cover up.
Well done, Max. Well
Excellent
done.
work. The only
Wow.
guy to stump us.
I'm winning this game. I picked Luke, I picked Hoof, and I picked Max.
Very
Well
good. Well, that was great, guys. That was a fun confession session. Any other confessions to make before we move on?
Not
had-
unless it's anonymous.
What was that?
I said not unless it's anonymous.
All right. Well, guys, it's been an awesome night. We really want to thank you for joining us here on our first ever live Twitch podcast. It seems to have gone off without a hitch. We only lost signal for a brief moment.
We only had 2 bathroom breaks.
We're known.
Yeah,
We're
couple
known for
bathroom breaks. We did. We had some really good questions. Really fun discussion. Really appreciate it. You guys joining us from all over, especially Luke. You're super busy in Charlotte. Thank you for joining us, Kevin. Thank you for joining us from your dad's basement. Max, you got the new crib.
Oh, wait. Time out.
One more question.
Hold on, time out. One more question in the chat.
Oh,
From Minneapolis City, all-time leading goal scorer, William the Kid 12 asks, who's the biggest lightweight?
Luke.
Honestly, I have some stories.
No.
I have some stories from Ian Smith, and I have to say it might be John. He might drink a lot, but I don't know.
Biggest lightweight?
It's Luke.
I mean, there's no right answer. Nobody submitted this. I would say John can drink for the can wake up after drinking really late into the night.
That's why my nickname's the cockroach.
The
'Cause
cockroach, right?
I don't die.
John, if you stay sober for very long.
No, I
mean-
honestly think it could. Honestly, I'll have to throw this one on myself. I haven't drank in. It's honestly been years since probably actually drank to get drunk. Probably my sophomore year, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got kind of my parents' house and I had a glass
School in
of
the boonies.
So
Max is offering himself up as tribute as the biggest
I'm
lightweight on the podcast.
All right. Well, there you go, Will. It's Max.
Now you know.
The captain of your team whenever we get to play again.
hey, but that means I'm cheaper than John.
But hold on a second. Are you willing to maybe just let go one night, or is this a choice? No, never will you ever get there again. I'm asking for a friend.
No, we'll get there one night.
That friend is your mustache.
It's definitely going to be like a Sioux Falls trip again.
Maybe, who knows?
All right, that's it. I think all our questions are over. Thank you, Will Kidd, City all-time leading goal scorer, Will Kidd.
And thank you so much, guys. Once again, Kevin Hoof, Max Steigwardt, Luke Haakenson. Really appreciate you guys joining us.
Thanks, guys.
It's been a great time. We hope to see you all on the field very, very soon. In the meantime, make sure you are following these guys on social media and following Nashville on their social media, so you can catch up on and Charlotte, so you can catch up on all of Luke's exploits as he is playing in the MLS. So thanks so much, guys. It's been awesome.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
That is going to be all for our show this week. Thanks, as always, to our sponsor, Summit. Your local swig house is closed, but so what? You can always go to the liquor store and pick up some Summit to help you ride out the time. Cabin Crusher is back. John is enjoying it. I've got the Keller Pills here in hand. And you can always do your job working from home and still stay super happy with our friends at Summit, a more meaningful brew since 1986.
Oh, hold on. Did you just say that like you could just day drink throughout your job with Summit? I don't know if they want us to say that, Nate.
If giving back to the community means a lot to you, maybe it's time to give to the club that gives back. Minneapolis City is a 501c3 that provides a safe, reliable place for kids to play the beautiful game in partnership with city centers and community organizations around the Twin Cities. Consider a tax-deductible donation to a true city-focused organization today. If you're a parent or a younger player that is interested in pursuing soccer throughout high school and into college, do not forget to sign up for Minneapolis City's free recruiting during COVID webinar that's going to be hosted next week. It's on May 11th. All you have to do is head over to mplscitysc.com for details and to register. It's all via Zoom, and you're going to hear from city staff, city players, and some coaches will be able to that coach some city players when they're away at college will be able to give you their perspective as well. If you have anything you want us to cover, make sure you send us some email, or you can always call us on our People's Pitch hotline, 612-460-5683. We'll play your message or your question on the air, and we will answer your question. Otherwise, you can hit us up on Twitter at MCSC Podcast. At the People's Pitch, or on Gmail at MCSC Podcast. Every time, John.
Yeah, you guys have no idea. It's so hard by the time we get to the end of the show to
and
read
I'm trying not even to look.
The same thing that we always read.
But we always appreciate any questions, comments, and concerns. But any complaints can be sent to the club at Twitter at MPLSCitySC, because I don't want to hear them. All right, that's going to do it for us this week. I have been Nate. We've got Max Steigwardt, Kevin Hoof, Luke Haakenson, and, of course, John Bisworm. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for our first live Twitch podcast, and we hope to see you again in the very near future.
Kevin.
You just got hooked, baby.
Poster burning maple weeds, cradle major keys. Thinking back, I've been major since the minor league. So supreme, too much sauce off my olive NMDs. I could staple steez, bend the goat so I get the cheese. Never fall, rake them leaves and make sure every moment gets seized. And everything I see is make